Hello to everybody out there, and thank you for joining me here at Spirit Muses and Knowledge. My name is Tiffany, and what I am going to be doing today is an interactive reading where you get to choose a card, and then I will pull the reading for the month of October 2020. And something special that I like to do is introduce the Chinese 5 elements along with my oracle. And so how this is going to work is you are going to choose an element, and the elements that we have here are literally the 5 ingredients of creation of everything, and I mean everything in the universe. So here we have the air element, we have water, we have the wood element, the fire element, and also the earth element. And so what I want you to do without thinking too hard is just look at the colors, look at the cards, look at the piles, and just go ahead and pick one. Okay, do you have it? Because we're just going to jump right in, and we're going to come back over here to air and see what it is that your guides and your light allegiances would like you to know for the month of October. And so what they have pulled for you is align your universe. And this is a number 1. So this is like a new beginning, new ideas. And that's what the air element is all about. It's like that initial spark of an idea. It's the thought processes that go into something before we actually start the design of it, and the energy to put into something that we want to come to fruition, usually a dream or usually a goal. And you can see here depicted all these orbs. These are like all the ideas that you might be having right now, and thinking about, how do I get that out into my universe to make this happen? And it also says navigate distractions. So many of you may be finding that you have distractions in your life that is keeping you from bringing something to fruition. It's like, well, which idea do I go with? You know, you may be kind of holding back, but we'll see when we lay the cards out here of how do I get that started? How do I get what's in my head, these beautiful ideas in my head? You can see how beautiful it is. You might even be dreaming about these things, or if you meditate, you might be seeing these images of creation in your mind. Very nice. So here I have all of the cards. The next one, there it is the resistance, right? It's almost like having your hands full. So navigating through those distractions, it's like your universe is asking you to take a look at what you might be holding on to, because you can't give and receive when your hand is clenched around something that may have already manifested. And you've got these beautiful birds here. They're almost like your guides and your spirit team that are encouraging you to open the hand and release whatever it is that either you don't need or something that has already come to fruition for you. Because this is a 1, right? So this is a new beginning, a new idea, a new manifestation. But there's some resistance there, holding on. And so what they're encouraging you to do is let that go, right? You've got these birds that are just open and they're flying to just like release it out into the universe. Because it's once you release it, that is when it starts to travel, and that is when your guides and your angels and your light team can support whatever ideas that you have and help bring that to fruition for you. All right, the next card that came up for the earth element is the garden and the gate. So that's exactly what this is. So you can see this figure right here standing in a garden that is already full. It's almost like it's ready to be harvested, but there's an open plain here. It's like not developed yet. Anything is possible. And yet she stands here just kind of looking out like, should I, shouldn't I? What I've created is so great, and I don't know if I want to walk through that gate. But you're being encouraged to, because you have all these beautiful ideas that are there just waiting to come to fruition for you. And walking through this gate, you've got this beautiful plane where you can just do anything. And you've got some butterflies here as well, which is a sign of metamorphosis. Coming out of the cocoon, releasing yourself, giving yourself that freedom to create. That is really beautiful. All right, and the next little card in your specific pile right here depicts an angel. So again, you've got some higher powers that are supporting you here. And this card says, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. So yeah, don't make decisions based on guilt. And perhaps that's what you're holding on to. Perhaps I feel for some of you, it's like, well, gosh, if I go after this dream, I have to give something else up. Or maybe someone is pressuring you to stay put and not create. But it can be a detriment to you because you have all of this wonderful creative power inside you that wants to come out. But there's a part of you that might be feeling guilty about what you want to do based on circumstance, or what you might have to do to be able to continue to create. You have to let something go because obviously the fist is full, right? It's like you have to release that so you can receive and give openly again. That's fantastic. And then the last little card here is hidden depths. You only see the surface. Look beyond. Yeah, and that brings me right back to the garden and the gate, because this person is looking beyond her own garden. It's almost like the grass is greener on the other side, right? But it's an open field. It's like a clean slate for some of you. I just got clean slate. But maybe you feel guilty leaving behind whatever area you are in your life to venture into this clean slate for yourself. But your guides want you to know that that's only on the surface. There's so much more. Look beyond that. Look at the possibilities for you. Well, this is a lovely reading for the month of October. If you resonated with that at all, please leave a comment and let me know what it is you might be moving through and how you resonated with this. It looks like you have an opportunity to create something new, but you're having a little bit of resistance and possibly some guilt within yourself. But your universe wants you to know, no, let that go. We've got you. And what you're going to be creating is so much more fruitful and something new for you, for your spirit evolution. That is just beautiful. All you little air element babies, you chose well here. That is just fantastic. All right. We're going to clear this away and move on to the next element. So for those of you, welcome, who have chosen the water element, the cards I have already pre-drawn. I have not seen any of them, but I do that just to save some time within these readings. I kind of like to keep the pick a card short. So let's just dive in and see what supporting card for the water element is drawn. And this is clear and activate. Create sacred space. And you know, when it comes to the water element, it reminds me of purification, right? And this individual is in a stance of complete openness to clear themselves out, to activate themselves, And water is also a wonderful conduit of electricity, which can also activate and creating that sacred space. It's almost like the vastness of an ocean or of a lake. But what I'm really feeling here is that clear and activate. It's a purification process. So for those of you that chose the water element, you may be finding yourself in a space where you do need to be purifying some things so you can activate something new in your world. And this could be a clear and activate so you can receive messages from your higher power, because I see these bands of light that are coming down on you, and being able to create the sacred space and align with the universe so you can actually receive those messages. And I love how much blue is here, which, you know, completely coincides with the water element as well. That's very nice. So let's dig into your little pile of cards and see what else it is your guides would like you to know. The protection card. The protection card. So yeah, for those of you that are needing or feeling like you are needing to purify and clear something out in your space, your guides totally want to let you know that they've got you. This is almost like a guardian angel right here. All of these stars, you know, are just little spots of healing. And that as you purify, as you open up, as you allow yourself to become reactivated, it's a total higher power, and you're protected because your guides have you. This is a spiritual experience for the month of October here for many of you. Being able to purify and clear yourself out, right? That's just absolutely beautiful. All right, let's see what else we got for the water element. Ooh, blossoming abundance. That's right, because once we clear things out, other things immediately come in. It's like the gift of the universe, right? Whenever we empty something out, whenever there is a cycle that's ending, there's something right behind it blossoming. And for the water element in Chinese medicine is a depiction of where all of our really deep emotions go. So it could be that whatever you're clearing out are energies and emotions that haven't been serving you well. And once those are cleared out, what immediately comes in is this blossoming abundance in your life. You're able to see things differently. You're able to appreciate the nature that's around you. You may find that once you clear something out, new things immediately come in. Things that you may not even realize. It also could be that seeds that you have planted in the past are now finally able to blossom because there's room to do so. That is just beautiful. All right, let's see what your next card is. We've got this beautiful little couple on the back right here, and almost like a bird up here with a really long tail. All right, so turning that, yeah, playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. That's right. So this playfulness, what it speaks to me here with the protection and the blossoming of abundance, you know, to make that process playful in nature. Feel free to laugh at yourself. Feel free to laugh at others. Get together with some good friends and create those moments of laughter, because that too nourishes the heart and is very healing for you. Love is the greatest healer. Absolutely. And then the last message that came up for those of you that chose the water element, we've got success. Bloom wherever you are planted. Yeah, amen. And look how it goes with this blossoming abundance, right? You're going to have success here. It's going to be successful. After you purify, after you clear this out, it's like bloom wherever you are planted. And here you are. You're blossoming all over the place. All you little water element babies that chose this element for yourselves today for the month of October, it just looks fantastic. Good for you. Please feel free to leave a message down below in the notes and let me know what this message means for you. All right, we're going to clear these away and move on to the next element. All right, so then what we have here for those of you that chose the wood element, I have pre-drawn all the cards. I have not seen them. So these are just new gifts for you as they are for me. I do that just to save time. So let's get into what the wood element and what your guides want you to know for October of 2020. And the first message that we have for the wood element is love and light. Act with care. And so with the wood element, you know that the wood element is where we plant our seeds. It's like the seeds that are underneath the earth. It's like the idea and the things that we want to come to fruition are just starting to bloom, or they're in the earth. I mean, as we get into the autumnal months, you know, it's like the seeds are starting to fall. Animals are burrowing things down into the ground. And so what the message that I'm getting here is that as we move into these months to act with love and light, be careful what you plant, because come next spring, that's what's going to pop up here for you. So what this is almost saying to you is open the heart, align with your inner guides, and act with care, which means to me be intentional. Be very intentional with your actions and with your thoughts and with your emotions. Make sure that you are acting in a loving way, not only to everyone else, but it starts with the self, you know, so be loving with the self, be gentle with the self, and treat yourself with care and kindness. All right, let's delve into this little package of cards and see what comes up. We've got patience. So many of you may be having to have patience with yourself or patience with the people and circumstances around you. You know, this shows a figure right here that's standing in one place but looking into another, almost like they want to travel into that next place. But it may be that there's certain things that need to happen, certain things need to align first before that action can be taken. And I do see a plethora of stars right here that can indicate different aspects of healing, different aspects of ideas. So perhaps in the month of October, to be able to practice some self-care with yourself and be patient with yourself, show yourself that loving kindness, and allow yourself to heal in certain areas. Because I also see the moon right here. So it's almost like information, ideas, movement forward that is in illumination, but there's still information that hasn't quite gotten there, hasn't quite reached you. But let's pull another card from your pile and see if we can get some clarification on that. The next card here is appreciation. And so again, you see a figure standing here, a woman standing in a garden holding a flower that is in complete bloom. And the message I'm getting is to appreciate yourself. So, you know, this is a very deep wood element reading here that with each card and the messages and just the way that I'm feeling right now, it feels like a lot of you need to appreciate yourself and give yourself some credit. You may be that you're too hard on yourself. And with the wood element, you know, it's that flexibility of thought and action. And when we become too hard, like petrified wood, it's like everything just stops. But here you're being guided to relax a little bit, unwind a little bit. This almost looks like an unwinding, right? Just kind of spiraling right here. But what you're being called to do is expand and appreciate where you are. I just got the message. Your universe wants you to know that you are exactly where you need to be right now. So appreciate that. Have a little bit of patience, especially if it feels uncomfortable. Let's delve into your next card. And it looks like we have a little set of lovers here, which is nice. That's nice to see. And it says, sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. And that's beautiful. So some of you may be in a situation where you do need some self-care. So maybe you're in a relationship right now that has been kind of stiff, that has been kind of stressful. Maybe there are some unresolved issues here, and you're being asked to approach this with love and light and act with care, right? Because our actions do impact, our words do impact. And at the same time, we can kind of lose ourselves, lose our patience. So by showing up with love and light, it's easier to appreciate each other. What I'm getting is if you're in a relationship right now, instead of showing up with any kind of hostilities, perhaps see it from a different perspective and take a step back and remind yourself why the two of you came together in the first place. You know, unless there's a lot of trauma or abuse going on in this relationship where you have to leave, of course that's what you want to do if there's any kind of abuse. But if it is just unresolved issues that are affecting that union of coming together and appreciating each other, to change the perspective and go back to that initial, hey, this is what I saw in you. This is what I loved about you. All right, and the last message here for you is beauty. Dare to be tender and strongly vulnerable. Yes, so that is the showing up with care, right? That's the showing up with light. Dare to be tender. From what I'm getting, the feeling here is that this wood element is turning to petrified wood. Either one or the both of you are becoming too hard, where communication is sharp and harsh, and the messages and communication that you really want to relay are coming out through this filter of maybe even resentment. So to soften that and go back into the spirit and look at it a different way, but that is going to take some patience to be able to get to that space. But that's what I'm getting here, because there is beauty, there is love, there is this opportunity to come together and feel like you're one again. But it does start with the self. You have to get there yourself. So through the month of October, that's what I'm feeling, is that that's what you need to be working on, is your state of mind and your state of your heart, and becoming very clear on what it is that you want and you need, so you can communicate that clearly to your partner. All right. That was a really good reading for all you little wood element people. Leave me a message down below and let me know how this message resonated with you. I appreciate you being here. All right, and we're going to be moving on to the fire element now. For the people that chose the fire element here, I have pre-chosen all the cards, and I have not seen them yet, but I do pre-pull the cards just to save some time, so you're not just watching me shuffle. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we have for the fire element. The first card up is emotional challenges. Resolve the issue. All right, so for the month of October here, it looks like some of you or many of you are moving through some kind of challenge. And you can see this image looking into the palms of their hands. So it definitely looks like most of you are at least looking at what you've got at hand, looking at the challenge and contemplating, wow, how big is this? And you can see all these tears, all this water coming down. So it might be unresolved issues. I'm having a feeling that these issues have been around for a while, which has caused some emotional challenges for you. And it may be blinding you a bit. This almost looks like a mask or a shield over the eyes. So what I'm feeling here is that your guides are encouraging you, because a lot of us don't like to look at the truth, right? So we might be choosing, no, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to see that. But what you're being encouraged here is to take that blindfold off so you can clearly see what the challenges are, so resolution can come. All right, let's delve into the little pile of pre-drawn cards and see how your universe wants to expand on this. Okay. So this is the boundaries card. Boundaries, healthy boundaries. So I'm getting the feeling with these emotional challenges, for those of you that chose the fire element, and you can see all this red right here, which goes right with the fire element, also has to do with heart issues, not like your physical heart, but your energy of your heart, the love part of the heart where the passion lives. It could be that there is a situation or a person that is either crossing your boundaries, or because you have this mask on, you're not honoring your own boundaries. And so whenever we allow that to happen, whenever we don't honor our own boundaries, just by nature, people are going to continue to cross those boundaries, right? It's like, well, he or she isn't honoring their own boundaries, so why should I? And so what your universe is telling you here with this fire element is to get very clear on what your boundaries are, but not just what they are, but what the repercussions of that is as well. Many of us know what our boundaries are, but we don't follow them through with the consequence of that when we are faced with someone that's literally like this, and this is a flower, and it just keeps hitting up against the boundary, keeps trying to cross the boundary. So what you're being asked here is to become very clear on what your boundaries are and to be able to communicate those to the outside world, Because then if people continue to cross our boundaries, instead of winding up in this space of feeling like, oh my gosh, why isn't anyone listening to me? Why is this happening? You know, we teach people how to treat us. And so if someone is continuously crossing our boundaries, it's not their fault. We have to take that ownership and go, well, I haven't been honoring my boundaries, and that's why this person or these people keep crossing that boundary. So the month of October for you, I'm feeling is an encouragement to get very clear on what your boundaries are and know what those consequences are, and then communicate them so people know. All right, let's pull another card. We have Healer of the Ages. And this does have everything to do with healing, right? I mean, we've got this card with all these tears, but to me, it feels internal. So it's like if you're not honoring your own boundaries, you're creating your own pain, but then you've got this Healer of the Ages. You are that healer. And you can see this light right over the heart chakra, and it comes under the fire element right here. So whatever is happening to you right now, October is the month to heal that. And that comes from within you, but you'll have to take some action with those boundaries. And I'm telling you, once that happens, again, we teach people how to treat us, and people don't have problems with boundaries. You know, if they are clear on what the boundary is, most people are like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that that was a boundary for you. And then they can make a decision for themselves whether they can honor that boundary or not. And that is that give and that take, right? The open palms, the give and the take, the give and the receive. But that has to come from your heart right here. So in the month of October, maybe kind of drop into the heart. And if you chose the fire element here, it has everything to do with the heart. Which brings us to the next card. And you can see that this image, you know, she has her hand over her heart. And the message for this card is imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. Absolutely. And again, here, when it comes to boundaries, once you start honoring that, you can stop resenting. You can stop the circular thinking in the mind that, wow, nobody respects me, everybody's crossing the lines here, and it creates a lot of unwanted thoughts for you. So once you set those boundaries and heal that and relay that to people, it actually creates a new space for you. You show up different. And it does give you new possibilities for your life, because the people that aren't going to respect your boundaries, they can go. And you know, when they go, then new people come in, new situations come in, new opportunities come in. It might even have to do, you know, with a job, with the opportunities here. A lot of people experience, you know, their supervisors or colleagues crossing those lines and crossing those boundaries with them. And once you draw that line in the sand and stand in your power, yeah, sometimes it totally switches the dynamic there. So that's beautiful. I like that. And then the last card in your group for the fire element is Radiance. Keep your head held high and follow the sun. That's right. And the fire element is all about the sun, right? Doesn't the sun just like burn and with radiance of light? All right, so all you little fire element people, if this resonated with you, feel free to leave a note in the comments section and let me know what that means for you, or a quick story with what you're currently experiencing. I appreciate you attending this reading. And we're going to clear these cards away as we come up to the last element. And hello. So for those of you that chose the earth element here, I have pre-drawn all the cards. I have not looked at them yet. I just pre-pull them, which saves some time when I do these pick a card readings. And so for those of you that chose the earth element, let's just jump right in and see what your universe wants you to know. We've got mindful wisdom, create inner harmony. Yeah, and you know, when it comes to the earth element, it is our center. It's like the abdominal area. It's the third chakra. You know, it's where our center is. And having that mindful wisdom, you can even see the yellow here depicted in the card, and creating that inner harmony, which does absolutely start on the inside. Mindful wisdom. All right, let's see what else the universe wants us to know. We're going to go and dig into this next pile with the next card. And we have acceptance. So that's beautiful. We've got that mindful wisdom, right? Which oftentimes is messages from our higher powers. I don't know if you can see all these little beams of light coming off from the head of this owl, but it's almost like this owl is just beaming out knowledge, but also receiving it as well. And what I'm getting here is that the universe in the month of October for you has some special messages that will create some harmony in your life. And it's just a matter of accepting it. And it looks like that you do. It looks like there's an offer coming in, information coming in, but then you in return also accept it. And you have all these doves that are flying out right here. It's like this is so universal and angelic. Could be your higher guides, you know, of what's being released and coming towards you. This is such a beautiful gift right here for all you little earth element babies for the month of October. That's just beautiful. All right, let's see what else your higher powers want you to know. We have the Magician in the mirror. So this is kind of exciting. This is about manifestation. This is an individual that has control of all the elements. This is like a master that has controlled all the elements and is able to create whatever they want in perfect harmony and perfect balance. You know, we've got the water coming up. We've got the fire element right here. This is a person that has done their work, has done their homework. Maybe you do a lot of research. Maybe you do a lot of higher thinking or meditation. You know, maybe you are very adequate at receiving information from your guides right here, because it looks like in the month of October, you're about to step it up here. Something's going to happen. You're being called to really sit in meditation or prayer. You've got some mindful wisdom that is coming to you, which is going to allow you to manifest something here. And maybe you're already working on it. But it's a matter of looking at yourself. This is a magician and the mirror. So it's like the reflection, you know, as above, so below, right? Co-creation, aligning yourself with your higher powers and emanating who and what you really truly are. A lot of you have a really good understanding of that. And for some of you, you're being called to do that, to align, really take a look at yourself and realize and remember how magical and powerful you are as a co-creator in this universe and in this 3D realm, especially here on Earth. I mean, this is the earth element right here. So you're being called to create something planetary, or bring it to fruition. Maybe you've been working on something that is going to be coming to fruition here in October. That's exciting. Let's see what else is in your little pile of cards. We've got this beautiful tree, and we've got all of these religious and spiritual symbols right here that's in alignment. This is almost like the tree of life, you know, almost like the Kabbalistic tree of life and ascension and spirit ascension right here. And what it's, yeah, see, what did I say? Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Okay, so for those of you that chose the earth element here, it's going to be happening. It's already in the works for you. You're already doing it. Continue to follow its guidance. So you're almost there. As above, so below. You've got some more information coming in that is going to help you this month actually make that happen. Oh, that's so exciting. Manifesting miracles. Absolutely love it for you little earth element babies out there. Especially at this time in 2020 where so much has like shut down. Everything has changed. I know that there's so many of you. You might even be a light worker here. You might be some kind of healer that you've had to find a different way to ground that energy and manifest it in this 3D realm, creating something new for yourself, because you do have a lot of dreams, you do have a lot of goals, and it does just pour out of your heart. And then your last card is bloom and attract more than butterflies. That's right, attract more than butterflies. So a lot of you have already come out of the cocoon and you're already taking flight. You're blooming. You're absolutely blossoming all over the place. I almost want to personally thank you here for your manifestations, because it's so needed at this point in the game in 2020. And it looks like October for you little earth element babies that chose this line at thank you so much. It's absolutely fantastic. And that closes this out. So if you resonate with this particular reading for this earth element, I would love to hear from you. Please give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment and let me know what it is that you're working on. Let me know where you are with yourself in manifesting your miracles and bringing those forward to the world, because it is needed. We do need those miracles, not only within our own lives, but then also expanding that out into our community, right? Beautiful. I absolutely love that. All right, so thank you everyone for joining me with this 5-element reading. I encourage you, if you not if you manifested, but if you resonated with any of these messages, please subscribe to my channel and give the video a thumbs up. And in my